Welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith, along with co-host
Aaron Glenn.
That's him.
Mike was coughing up a storm a second ago.
Well, it's that time of year, allergies and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Although I thought it felt nice out this morning, not humid. I think 81 is going to be our high today. So since we're talking weather, let's jump into it. Our forecast today, sunshine with a high of 81. Tonight's low, 58, which is good sleeping weather, I suppose, if you're camping. Tomorrow, some sunshine with a high of 87. Chance of showers on Saturday, back up to around 88. And everybody on social media was talking about this last night. I was out in northwestern Ross County when the rainbow came out.
I was seeing it on my drive home, and I was a little distracted because it was huge.
At first, it started as the single rainbow, and the longer we stood, then it manifested itself into a double rainbow. And it stayed out for about a half hour. I posted this to our social media site, Litter Media. And then I started seeing a lot of people all over, not only Ross County, but even up into Pickaway County, saying that they saw it as well.
Yeah.
But what county were you in when you saw it?
I was in Ross County when I saw it. I was on my way home from Warren County. And then when I got home, I live up on the hill. The entire sky was like golden from the sunset. I mean, it was all yellow. And I'd never seen anything like it before. Yeah.
I think our buddy Matt Bruning said it was one of the more intense colored rainbows that he'd ever seen. I saw one, I think I was telling you about this, I don't know how many years ago. I was coming home from Chillicothe on US 35, and there was one off to the right, and it was a perfect bow, and it was every bit that bright, if not brighter. Yeah. And I took a picture of it. It was on my Facebook post for years until whoever took control of it. By the way, if you've not noticed, I haven't posted anything. If you're still seeing my personal Facebook post that I had for umpteen years, it's not mine anymore because some scammer got a hold of it, so I let it go.
Some evil genius.
So if you see that I'm doing something not good,
unseemly,
it's not me. It's somebody else pretending.
It's Dan Ramey.
It's Dan.
Hacked into his Facebook.
Back in his evil, laboratory, devising something to say.
Wearing a lab coat.
I can see it right now. He's probably playing with Amelia's Play-Doh science kit or something like that, trying to come up with something. When we come back, we'll take a look at what the topics of today are. In fact, a late-breaking story that we have from the Ross County Humane Society just before coming on the air. It's now on our website. We will tell you about it in just a moment. In the meantime, Scioto Valley Dumpsters telling you that we've got these large orange dumpsters that we can bring to your property so you can get rid of that junk that you're trying to get rid of. It's as easy as calling 253-8389 for a free quote.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
And stick around later for this show when we'll announce this week's Player of the Week.
All right, that's coming up in sports. Show topics or news topics right out of the gate here. A story that came to us about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. The Ross County Humane Society has announced in their Facebook post that due to a sudden influx of dogs from the public who have tested positive with parvovirus, the shelter has been exposed and will be closed June 27th, today, and tomorrow, June the 28th. In a quote, "To ensure the safety and health of all of our animals and staff will be closed today and tomorrow as we take necessary measures to address the situation. All of the exposed dogs and puppies will be transferred to a partner rescue where they can be monitored and treated if necessary." Again, that is a quote in the Humane Society's Facebook post. There's more in our website story that you can read about concerning that, but Humane Society says they'll keep the public posted as to when they get reopened, hopefully within a few days.
Yeah. The producers of the outdoor drama Tecumseh will feature an evening with Kathy Mattea Sunday night at 7 p.m. at Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater. Mattea has 2 gold records, won 2 Grammys, and 4 CMA awards. Our Dan Ramey spoke with Mattea yesterday, who thought her singing career had come to an end a few years ago. She explains how she gained new life for her career.
My voice changed when I went through menopause, and I had to figure out what I was going to do because I knew my voice so well, and it didn't respond the same way. And so I had a random conversation one time with Tony Bennett. I wound up in a room with Tony Bennett, and neither one of us was talking to anyone else. And I asked him, I said, he was 78 at the time, and I said, "I heard you sing tonight, and I know how old you are. How do you sing at your age? How do you sing like that?" And he just very quietly smiled, and he said, "My voice isn't what it once was, but it's a lot better than it was a few years ago." And I found a voice teacher, and I started working again.
VIP tickets for Sunday's show have sold out. Tickets range from $10 to $65. Kids 10 and under are $10. The parking lot opens at 5 p.m. and seating takes place at 6 p.m. with the show starting at 7 p.m. on the mountain. To hear the interview in its entirety, you'll find it on our Facebook and Litter Media X pages, on Litter Media Radio and littermedia.com, as well as Litter Media Spotify.
A lot happening in our community over the weekend, along with the Kathy Mattea concert. Friends of the Lucy Webb Hayes Heritage Center will be holding their annual meeting at 90 West 6th Street in Chillicothe this Saturday. In the 2 p.m. meeting, paid members can vote on board members and officers for the 24-25 year. Light refreshments will be served, and of course, if you know the history of Lucy Webb Hayes, First Lady of the United States, because her husband was Rutherford B. Hayes, they wouldn't serve alcohol in the White House, so they served lemonade, hence the nickname Lemonade Lucy.
I don't much like lemonade.
Is that right? I just thought that would be something you would enjoy.
I like it for the first few sips, and then I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I'm a lemonade guy. If it's made correctly, because you can ruin lemonade real easy.
Yeah, you can.
Too watered down or too sweet, neither is good. Also, an open house is to be held this Saturday at 10 a.m. for a ribbon cutting for the new Southwest Pickaway Fire District station, which is in Williamsport. That's located at 405 Mill Street. They'd love to have you come around. That's going to last from 10 until 2 p.m.
Make plans to enjoy the 4th of July at the Chillicothe City Pool Party. Tickets are on sale now and limited in quantity. $15 per ticket includes admission and refreshments. To purchase, contact Parks and Rec at 740-772-5626. Fireworks will begin at approximately 9:45 p.m. that day. And Mount Sterling has a 4th of July parade starting at 10 a.m. on the 4th of July.
There are a lot of other activities, we realize that are taking place on July 3rd and 4th, and when we see those, we'll share them with you here on Litter Media Live. Mark your calendars for Into the Woods at Chillicothe High School Auditorium on July 11th through 13th at 7 p.m., and then again on July 14th at 2 p.m. This is being put on by the Chillicothe Civic Theater, and you can get your tickets in advance at cctoh.booktix, and that's spelled TIX.net. Should be a lot of fun. Also, American Pickers. We did a story last week on our website that talked about how they're coming to Ohio. Well, Amy Lou, saw this picture of somebody wearing a hat. His name is Rob, but the hat is a Chillicothe Cavalier hat that says, once a Cavalier, always a Cavalier, and they were picking in South Carolina when they took this pick.
So maybe he said, you need to go to Ohio.
Yeah.
Maybe he told him.
A number of years ago, a clock that came from the WBEX studios was on sale. I believe there were 2 clocks like that. We've talked about this on the show before. We looked at that time, Dan and I were still, I think, with the radio station, and looked at what it cost to get that and what they wanted. It's like, forget it. So where it is now, I have no idea. So the road report for today has us going over to Fairfield County. State Route 158 is closed to traffic between Pleasantville Road and Leonard Road for a culvert replacement. Now, they believe they'll get this done by 5 p.m. this Friday, but in the meantime, if you're heading over that way, the detour from 158 is to State Route 256, then Route 37, to US 22, back to 158. That's your news topics for today. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports. The Paints finished a game last night and then played the regular scheduled game. All that coming up on Litter Media Live.
Including the Player of the Week.
Yes, sir.
But first, we'll tell you about Haynes Chiropractic. Haynes Total Healthcare Center is celebrating 50 years of serving the chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs of the community. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on littermedia.com, and it will take you right to their website to learn more. HaynesHealth.com.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Turning to sports, the Chillicothe Paints had 2 results last night. This was the second game, but the first game, they were completing a suspended game from the night before because of rain in playing Thrillville. In that game that they resumed in the 8th inning, the Paints were up 6-4, but Thrillville scored 3 unanswered runs to beat Chillicothe 7-6. And then this game, the regularly scheduled game, saw the Paints losing by a score of 4-3. Chillicothe went into last night with a 17-6 record, which percentage-wise I think was the best in the Prospect League, and they lost both. I don't know if they've lost 2 in a row this year. If they had, it would have been very early in the season.
It makes you wonder, though, if they could, what would have happened if they could finish that game on the night that it was scheduled and they kept their momentum.
Well, that's a good point, because you know whoever was probably pitching when it started to rain couldn't come back the next night, so It has an impact on
Maybe there would have been a different outcome there.
Paints move on to Du Bois tonight.
The Reds dropped the rubber match of their series with the Pirates 6-1, and then the Guardians also fall to the Orioles 2-4.
2-4.
4-2. I was reading left to right.
I understand that, but yeah, we don't do it that way. I'm curious as to whether David Bell is going to still be the manager after the All-Star break. They are underachieving terribly. They were picked by many to compete for their division, and right now they're 6 under 500 again. So, not trying to be negative Nelly, but people had higher expectations. So, Oftentimes, as it is in sports, when the team's not doing well, the manager or the coach gets the blame.
Get it together.
Now, to conclude our sports for today, we have our Neil Coleman Wyandotte Mutual Insurance Athlete of the Week, and it is Huntington High School baseball player DJ Crocker. What a season this kid had. He's the SVC Baseball Player of the Year. He was named on the first team All-District and first team All-Ohio as a catcher. Last week, he played in the Ohio High School Baseball Coaches Association doubleheader All-Star game. And after the game, he was named the Outstanding Offensive Player. So congratulations to DJ Crocker being our Athlete of the Week. And when we come back, we'll wrap it up with this date in history. Not too awful far back, 1985. All that ahead on Litter Media Live.
Litter Quality Propane. Custom tank colors and wraps. Find out how a propane tank can be beautiful at litterpropane.com.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor, and on target for your needs. They were out at my place. I think Dan said he had them out at his place here recently. They'll take care of you for all of these three categories: accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing.
Do you know if they could fix my washer and dryer?
Probably not. They're not in the appliance business.
Oh, I didn't know. That wouldn't fall into plumbing.
No. No.
Well, my washer and dryer is shot right now. So.
You sound like you need another type of retail.
I need Cider Valley dumpsters so I can throw them in the dumpster.
Throw it in the dumpster. This date in history, we take you back to 1985. After 59 years, the iconic Route 66 enters the realm of history when the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials decertify the road and vote to remove all its highway signs. Measuring some 2,200 miles in its heyday, Route 66 stretched, as you can see on this map, from Chicago to Santa Monica, California, passing through 8 states. According to a New York Times article about its decertification, most of Route 66 followed a path through the wilderness that was forged back in 1857. Yeah, that's right, 1857, by U.S. Navy Lieutenant Edward Beale at the head of a caravan of camels.
Camels.
In
the U.S.
Yeah, that stuns me. Over the years, wagon trains and cattlemen eventually made way for trucks and passenger automobiles, and in the early 20th century, it became famously known as Route 66. And there was a TV show named that, and I think there might have even been a song called
I've heard the song.
US 66 or Route 66 or something. I've never been on it, but you said you drove parallel to it.
Yeah, when I drove to L.A. last year, we drove from Ohio, obviously, but once we got to Oklahoma City, we kind of were going along Route 66, but not on Route 66 itself.
What's the interstate that runs probably closest to that?
I knew you were going to ask me that question.
Well, you were on it, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
70, and I'm not sure. I-70 goes at least to St. Louis, but I'm not sure how far farther than that it goes, if it does go farther west or if it takes a elbow and goes south. We'll have to look that one up. or maybe you know, and you can tell us before we get off the air here. This is Thursday.
This is Thursday.
A week from today is July 4th.
Yes.
And that means fireworks.
Yes.
And you and Dan will be out at the fireworks.
I believe that's the plan. I haven't heard anything concrete, but I believe that is the plan.
I know that they've done. Dan's done a lot of video work on that in the past, and I think I don't know if I thought I saw that last year, and maybe another year or two before, where he puts a presentation together on that. I don't know if he was using the Litter Media drone or film from the pyrotechnic guy's drone or what it was.
I think he was using his drone.
It's quite remarkable to see it from that perspective. I mean, you and I can't fly up there and watch.
Well, you don't know.
Hang around about, I don't know how far some of those rockets go up before they explode, but I don't think I'd want to be too close.
No, probably not.
I saw there was a piece that one of the networks, TV networks, were doing the other day. It kind of came in conjunction the same time when we had the story about fireworks safety, because Ohio now allows you to set off firecrackers and certain grade fireworks on certain dates, which actually starts tomorrow that you can do that. But they had a mannequin holding one of these, I don't know if it was a cherry bomb or whatever it was, but it blew the dummy's hand off.
Right.
And I don't think I'd want that happening to me.
No, probably not.
I leave all that stuff to the professionals. Anything to close out?
Have a good weekend. Well, it's not Friday. I keep thinking it's Friday.
You got another day. My week's been kind of like that too. It seems like I'm a day ahead of myself. But Aaron and I will be back tomorrow.
I was about to say that.
Dan, who's on assignment today, has another assignment tomorrow. The Attorney General, Dave Yost, is expected to be out at Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. I believe that's at 10:45 for a special presentation. I think Dan will be out there for that tomorrow. So you and I will be back chit-chatting again tomorrow on Litter Media Live.
Yes.
So for, what's your name?
Aaron Glandon.
This is Mike Smith saying so long from all of us at Litter Media Live.
Oh, and you can go watch last year's fireworks show, Dan. Just put that in the comments.
Great.
But see you tomorrow on Litter Media Live.